watching Let's Chat.
If you're just now joining us, we're here live at the Moxy Hotel in downtown Chattanooga. Joining us now, longtime friend, it is Tim Piersant. Tim is the founder of Chattanooga Whiskey Company. Give him a round of applause.
Chip, it's good to see you, dude.
I think you're a hit here. Chattanooga Whiskey, I mean, they roll out the red carpet. You guys have done a bang-up business in a fairly short time span. If I asked you to give me the history of the Chattanooga Whiskey Company in 30 seconds or less, tell me.
Founded in 2011. We changed distilling laws for the state of Tennessee. It took until 2013. That was the Vote Whiskey campaign. We established the Chattanooga Whiskey Experimental Distillery, the first distillery in 100 years in Chattanooga in 2015. After developing 100 different recipes, we founded our flagship recipe, which we have today, which is Chattanooga Whiskey 91. We built the Riverfront Distillery in 2017. And now here we are 2.5 years after that, releasing our new flagship whiskey.
That story deserves a round of applause. That is one heck of a success story.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
In a really short time frame. I remember emceeing your very first rollout party just a few blocks away here, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people, and you could tell the excitement in the air that you guys had brought something back to Chattanooga that had not been here in how long?
1915 was the last distillery that shut down.
So essentially 100 years, the better part of 100 years. Quite a success story. Now you guys have got a couple of new products out on the market. I want you to tell me about them.
Yeah, so we are finally releasing Chattanooga Whiskey 91 and Chattanooga Whiskey 111, which are our new flagships, and they're replacing 1816. So we've sold 1816, which is Chattanooga Whiskey.
Right.
Across Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama for the last 7 years. So this is officially replacing those, and this is what we've been working toward. So from here on out, everything that Chattanooga sells is 100% Chattanooga made.
Yeah, baby. Now, here's another question for you. So if folks have a bottle of 1816, do they need to keep that as a collector's item? Do they need to go to a retailer and try to find some that are still left on the store? Tell me about that.
Sales are sales, man. So go out and buy as much 1816 as you can, but I would definitely recommend buying a bottle of this. We're super excited about this product. We do believe it is better. It's actually substantially better than 1816 for a lot of different reasons. Well,
or tell me why.
So this is a 4-grain bourbon starting off, okay? So Chattanooga Whiskey coined and trademarked our own style of bourbon whiskey from Tennessee called Tennessee High Malt. Okay, so we don't do a traditional Tennessee whiskey. And the reason we coined and trademarked Tennessee High Malt is because of everything we put into it. I mean, just at its base, it's a 4-grain bourbon with 3 specialty malts in that bourbon.
Right.
That's hard to find. In fact, I think we're the only ones that are doing that. And then we do a lot of other things that create richness and complexity, and just everything that we put into it, we go above and beyond on making a better product. So,
what about the distillery itself? You have one here in town that folks can bring their guests in from out of town and take the tour of, right?
Yes. So the Chattanooga Whiskey Experimental Distillery, which was founded in 2015 and is the first distillery back in Chattanooga in 100 years. We do tours there 7 days a week, every hour on the hour. And that's the full experience from grain to glass, where you get to learn about the process, learn about what makes Chattanooga whiskey special and the whole Tennessee High Malt process special, and then taste all of our offerings at our bar.
It seems like since you guys got, and it was essentially Chattanooga Whiskey, it got the whole laws changed statewide, you're seeing distilleries popping up on every other block all across the state. What sets yours apart from the rest?
Well, I mean, for one, we make Tennessee High Malt. Nobody else. We're the one and only Tennessee High Malt. So that style of bourbon whiskey and everything we put into it. 2, we changed the laws for both, Hamilton County and the state. That's something that, will always be a part of our past. So I really think it is, it's our unique story. I feel like we're one of the most authentic brands out there. I mean, 8 years doesn't seem like a long time, when you think about 150 years of distilling in Kentucky and Tennessee. But for what we've accomplished in the last 8 years, I think it's pretty special.
Well, I'll tell you what I think you ought to do. Pour us up a glass of this.
All right,
we're going to see the official difference, and I'll hold your microphone here. You all knew this was coming, didn't you? You all knew this was coming. So go ahead, have a pour, just a little. What's the proper way, if you're trying this for the first time, to do it? Do you do it like wine? Do you smell it? Do you...
Well, we first of all, we recommend sipping it neat, which is basically straight with no ice or anything in it, before you want to add anything to it. If you want to make an old fashioned or Manhattan or a Sazerac
try it by
or something,
itself first.
Try it by itself first. I promise you'll like it. So definitely you want to swirl around the glass, okay? Because oxygen matters, and you're oxidizing the product.
Sure.
You can also have some alcohol fumes build up in there, so that's why you want to swirl it around and kind of coat the glass. I like to actually usually nose the glass before I pour whiskey into it, just to make sure that there's no must or anything from the glass. So, Moxy, you're doing a good job. The glass smells good.
Here's to the Moxy.
Yeah.
Here's to you at Chattanooga Whiskey
Thanks,
Company.
Chip. I appreciate it.
Good stuff. Tim, good to see you, my friend.